Thiruchitrambalam, Hara Hara Namah Parvati, Padaye Hara Hara Mahadeva, Sitsavesa, Sivasidambaram, தென்னாருடைய சிவனே போற்றி, எந்நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். எடுக்கும் மாக்கதை தமிழ் செய்யுளாய் நடக்கும் மேன்மை நமக்கருள் செய்திட, கடக்கை ஐந்துடை தாழ் செவி நீழ்முடி கடக்களிற்றை கருத்துள் நிறுத்துவான். உலகலாம் உணர்ந்து ஓதற்கரியவன், நிலவுலாவிய நிர்மலி வேணியன், அலைவில் சோதியன் அம்பலத்து ஆடுவான் மலர் சிலம்படி வாழ்த்தி வணங்குவான். சைவத்தின் மேற்சமயம் வேறிலை அதில் சார் சிவமாம் தெய்வத்தின் மேற் தெய்வம் இல்லனும் நான்மறை செம்பொருள் வாய்மை வைத்த சீர் திருத்தேவாரமும் திருவாசகமும் உய்வை தரச் செய்த நால்வர் பொற்றாள் எம்முயிர் துணையே. தில்லைவாழந்தனரை முதலாக சீர்படைத்த தொல்லையதாம் திருத்தொண்டத் தொகையடியார் பதம் போற்றி, வல்லையவர் புராண கதை உலகறிய விரித்து உரைத்த செல்வமலி குன்றத்துசை கிழாரடி போற்றி. ஆதாரமாகிய மாணிக்க வாசகர் பாதார விந்தம் படிவோம், பண்டு செய்த தீதான பாவங்கள் எல்லாம் தீர்ந்து ஞானோதயம் வந்து கூடிடுமே. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். Dear devotees, welcome back to the Periyapuranam Discourse series. Today we are here to think through the wonderful history of Empiran Devachekla Swamigal, and also to the 57th Pontiff of Gunamatti Kalyanapuriyadina, Srila Sri Guru Mahasannidhanam Rajasaramanikvasa Swamigal as well. By the grace of the Almighty Lord Shiva, let's go ahead and get started with Empiran Thirunalaippovar Nayanar Puranam. With Thirunalaippovar Nayanar. Nayanar's actual name was Nandanar, and we'll discuss that why we call Nayanar Thirunalaippovar Nayanar. So Nandanar was born in Adanur, a wonderful Shiva Kshetra situated in the bank of river Kollidam, close to Chidambaram. And in Adanur, there was some specific area called Puraipadi, where usually the labor workers lived, and they worked in the fields of rich landlords, and they live in the specific place. And Nandanar was born in that race, but he excelled in deep devotion to Lord Shiva. He had such an intense love for Lord Shiva, and Shiva also poured him with his blessings. He served Shiva to the best of his limited availability at that time, because there were a lot of restrictions in the ancient times. So he very lot of restriction and limitations, but still it did not stop him. That was the key. Nayanar would provide the strings needed for the various stringed musical instruments for the temple. Also, he would provide leather for percussion instruments like drums that were used in the temple. And he would also provide gorosane, which is very, very auspicious to Shiva. And he would provide that often to the temple, to Shiva temple. Gorosane is something that would be obtained from the stomach of cow. So since there were, like I said, there were many restrictions in ancient times for certain communities, we are not going to go into that, unnecessary for this discourse anyway. They're not allowed to enter the temple premises, but that did not deter Nandanar from singing and dancing in front of Lord Shiva temple and to continue his daily worship. So Nandanar wanted to have a darshan of Tirupunkur Lord Shiva, Sivaloga Nayagar. He went to Tirupunkur and visited the temple, stood in front of the temple, started praising Lord Shiva, dancing, singing with glee. As he was standing outside the temple, there's a huge, big statue of Nandi Deva before Lord Shiva. And in case we need to go and see Shiva, we need to go inside the temple. Then only can have darshan of Shiva. So Nayanar was standing outside, praying to Shiva. He couldn't get a glimpse of Shiva. So he became a bit sad. Lord, I came all the way here to see you. However, I can't enter the temple. I can't see you. Lord Shiva performed a miracle by shifting the huge statue of Nandi Deva to one side so that Nandana could get a glimpse of him, glimpse of Lord Shiva. Nandana had a great darshan of Lord Shiva. Nayanar was overwhelmed both by the great darshan he had, he could see Sivalanga Nayanar completely, and also by the grace shown by Shiva on him. This is why Manikavasa Swamigal said in Thiruchitrambalam, தீர்ந்த அன்பாய் அன்பர்க்கு அவரினும் அன்பர் போற்றி. That means who has got a lot of love, whether it is the devotee or Shiva. It's always the devotee. It's always devotees have love for Shiva, but the most intense love is coming from Shiva to his devotees. He loves his devotees more than the devotees love him. That was the answer. So he had a great darshan of Shiva in Tirupunkur temple, enjoyed it, and then when he turned around, he saw a huge pit with a spring of pure water in it in the middle of Adanur. Then he realized it's a wonderful pit. Why don't we just convert that into a big pond that can be used for Shiva temple, Tirupunkur, for Titavari and other Brahmosava functions, Tapatirula, and so on. Then Nayanar alone started working on making that pit into a huge pond. He did it alone, all alone. Nayanar did it, converted that into a nice Tirtha, Pushkarni, holy pond by his hard work. And the temple administration very happy and felt very grateful. Nayanar again went back to Tirupunkur. He had a darshan of Lord Shiva from outside. From day one, Nandanar got a desire to go to Tirulai and have a great darshan of the cosmic dancer, Lord Nataraja. Every single day he would say, I would go to Thiruchitrambalam tomorrow. But the next day, the desire will vaporize like the morning dew due to his other commitments. He won't be able to make it. But every day he will say, I would go to Tirulai, I would go to Nalaippovar, means I would go to Tirulai. So as he used to say, Nalaippovar, I will go to tomorrow, I'll go tomorrow. Every day his name itself became, and then his name itself became Thirunalaippovar Nayanar. So the desire of visiting Thiruchitrambalam, which had bloomed in Nandanar's mind long ago, now became true. Yes, Nayanar reached the city limits of Thiruchitrambalam finally. He reached the outskirts of Thiruchitrambalam. If you recall, the border of Thiruchitrambalam itself is very, very auspicious. Arivin Illayagi Thillai. When the great Samayacharyas, Sundaramurti Swamigal, when they went to Thiruchitrambalam, they paid their obeisance by falling down on the earth. When they reached the border, they worshipped the border itself, because the Lord that does the five jobs. படைத்தல், காத்தல், அழித்தல், அருளல். He dances in the golden Sabha of Thiruchitrambalam. So that outskirt of Thirulai is very, very auspicious. So Nayanar worshipped the outskirts of Thirulai. And then from the outskirts, he was looking at the city. He could see Chidambaram at echoed with the Vedic chanting by Thirulaival Andana Thirulai Brahmins, and the sky of Chidambaram got fully filled with the smoke rising from the Homakundams. So Nandana realized, I don't think I can go inside. I would go maybe sometime later. Let's just go around the city. So what he did, he just went around the city. He went around the whole city doing parikrama. He sang, danced with glee, because he finally reached the place he wanted to go. He was doing that every day. We don't know how many days he did, but there were certain days. He was doing that every day. And would his dream of getting the darshan of Raja become real? It would. And one fine day, Lord Shiva appeared in the dream of Nandanar and told him, "Don't worry, I know why you're reluctant to come inside the city, have a darshan. There will be a pit of roaring fire formed in front of my temple. I would order the Televal Andanar to take you to that pit. You enter the pit, and then you will come out as you will get rid of all your current form, and you'll get a divya sarira, a holy body, and then you'll reach my feet." And then Nandana got very excited. Lord Shiva also appeared in the dreams of Thirulaival and Nanagal, said, "My ardent devotee." She is in the outskirts of Thiruchitrambalam. Go there, give him a warm welcome to Chidambaram, and form a pit of roaring fire. He will enter the fire and come out of it with the Divya Sariram, and he will reach my feet, lotus feet. Thiruvandanagal got surprised, and they got very excited as well. Wow. It's an order from their Lord. It was an opportunity for Thiruvandanagal also to have the Lord in their dreams because of Nandanar. Then Thiruvandanagal made the pit, and also made all the arrangements and set the fire. They came to the outskirts of Nandana, and invited him, and they paid obeisance to Nayanar, and they asked Nayanar that Swami has ordered them to take him to that pit. Nandana was overwhelmed by this, because Lord Shiva has already informed him about it. Nayanar accompanied them happily. He went inside the city. He reached the temple. Nandana was his eyes full of in tears. He has been saying that for we don't know how many years, how many months. And I was saying I would go to Thirulai tomorrow. I would go to Thirulai tomorrow. He is in front of the temple now. Then he worshipped the Raja Gopura. He went around the temple, and then went right in front of the pit of roaring fire. Thiruvalandanagal made the arrangement at the at the order of Lord Shiva. He went around the pit. The fire. Then he entered the holy fire, came out of it. Then he just looked like Lord Brahma himself, seated on the large red lotus flower. Nayanar looked very, very brilliant with Divya Sariram, divine form given by Lord Shiva. It was fully adorned with holy ash, holy thread, punul, and rudraksha. The team of Thirulai Brahmins got surprised and paid their obeisance to Nayanar and led Nayanar to the Sannidhi of Shiva, the Kanakasabha, where the Lord dances. Empiran Thirunalaippovar Nayanar entered the temple. His dream came true. And he went around the temple, and then he finally reached the Kanakasabha, the Garbhagriha, where the Lord dances. And then Nayanar entered the Kanakasabha Sannidhi with his hands held in Anjali mode, and he lifted over his head. He kept the hands over the head. Tears came out of his eyes. Everyone was watching. All the Levanandhanas were watching. And then he had a great darshan of Lord Raja. And then he went inside the Garbhagriha. Then he got merged with Lord Shiva forever and ever. Never came back. That was the story of Emperor Thirunalaippovar Nayanar. The more or less, there may be some restrictions we may face in this current world, but nothing should stop us worshipping Lord Shiva and to continue his service. We must continue our service as much as we can with all the limitations and restrictions that we are facing. That was the moral of the story. And also the love, the intense love. Lord Shiva shifted Nandidevar, which is the temple is constructed based on Shivagama rules. Nandidevar was based specifically on that place, right? And the rules and regulations, Lord Shiva, Shiva becomes flexible in front of the intense love. The love takes a priority. All right, having said that, let's end the class for today. We will discuss again the next class. Thiruchitrambalam. என்றும் இன்பம் பெருகும் இயல்பினால் ஒன்று காதலித்து உள்ளம் ஓங்கிட வென்றுளார் அடியார் அவர் வான்புகழ் நின்றது எங்கும் நிலவி வகலாம் திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். ஹர ஹர நம பார்வதி பதே ஹர ஹர மகாதேவா. சிற்சவேசா சிவ சிதம்பரம். தென்னாருடைய சிவனே போற்றி, நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம்.